Welcome back to Ironclad Wisdom, where we dive deep into timeless philosophies and life lessons to help you live a stronger, more fulfilling life. Today, we'll be exploring how to make people miss you, according to the principles of Stoicism. Now, this isn't about playing mind games or manipulating others. It's about living in such a way that your presence leaves a lasting impact. Through the wisdom of the Stoics, we'll learn how embodying virtue, self-sufficiency, and emotional control can naturally make others value and miss your presence. If you're looking for more insights on how to apply ancient wisdom to modern life, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Join the Ironclad Wisdom community, and let's grow stronger together, one Stoic principle at a time. Number 1. Live with integrity. Living with integrity is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, where individuals are encouraged to align their actions with the core virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Integrity, in this sense, means adhering to these virtues consistently, even when it is difficult. A person of integrity is not swayed by external circumstances or societal pressures. For example, in the workplace, an individual who always tells the truth, regardless of the consequences, demonstrates integrity. This commitment to honesty may sometimes put them in uncomfortable situations, but in the long run, it earns them the respect and trust of their colleagues and superiors. When you live with integrity, you become a reliable figure in the lives of others. People know they can depend on you to make decisions based on what is right, rather than what is easy or convenient. For instance, a leader who consistently makes decisions that are fair and just, even at personal cost, will inspire loyalty and admiration from their team. This aligns with the Stoic virtue of justice, where doing what is fair for the collective good takes precedence over personal gain. When others see that you are guided by virtue rather than self-interest, they come to value your presence more deeply. Moreover, living with integrity means that your actions are in harmony with your principles, making you trustworthy. Stoicism teaches that you should act with temperance, moderation in all things. This means maintaining a steady character, avoiding extremes, and always striving for balance. Take the example of a friend who, even under pressure, remains calm and true to their values. Their consistency becomes a source of strength for those around them, and when they are absent, their reliability is missed. In this way, Stoicism's emphasis on integrity leads not only to personal fulfillment, but also to building lasting, meaningful connections where people genuinely appreciate and miss your presence when you're gone. Number 2. Embody self-sufficiency. In Stoicism, autarkia or self-sufficiency is a fundamental concept that emphasizes the importance of being content within oneself, rather than relying on external factors for happiness or validation. The Stoics believe that true inner peace comes from cultivating a mindset that is not easily swayed by the opinions of others or the unpredictable nature of life's circumstances. By embodying self-sufficiency, one can develop a sense of calm and resilience that attracts others. For example, when you stop seeking approval from those around you and focus instead on what is within your control, such as your own thoughts, actions, and attitudes, you project an aura of independence that others find appealing. People are naturally drawn to those who do not constantly crave attention or affirmation, because such individuals exude confidence and emotional stability. Consider someone in a group setting who remains composed and self-assured even when others are seeking validation. While some may strive for recognition through their words or actions, a self-sufficient person allows their presence and character to speak for itself. This quiet confidence often becomes magnetic, and when such a person is absent, people may feel the void created by their steady presence. A real-life example might be a leader who listens more than they speak, offering wisdom only when necessary. Their lack of need for constant approval or praise enhances their authority, making their absence noticeable. Moreover, self-sufficiency also teaches us to be emotionally independent. This doesn't mean being detached from others, but rather cultivating the ability to remain calm and collected even when facing challenges or criticism. When you are not emotionally reactive and instead maintain a sense of inner peace, people notice the strength you carry. They may come to rely on your stability in difficult situations, and in turn, miss your presence when you're not there to provide that calming influence. In personal relationships, someone who is emotionally self-sufficient does not burden others with their insecurities or need for validation. Instead, they offer a balanced, peaceful energy that others value and appreciate. Number 3. Cultivate emotional control. Cultivating emotional control is a central tenet of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that emotions such as anger, fear, or sadness often arise from misguided perceptions of external events, which are beyond our control. By focusing on what is within our control, our thoughts, actions, and reactions, we can respond to situations with clarity and reason, rather than letting emotions dictate our behavior. For instance, when faced with a difficult situation like losing a job, instead of reacting with panic or despair, a Stoic would take a step back and evaluate the situation rationally, focusing on the actions they can take to improve their circumstances, rather than being overwhelmed by what they cannot change. A person who cultivates emotional control also becomes a source of calm and stability in social settings. In relationships, for example, when an argument arises, maintaining composure and listening carefully instead of reacting impulsively can de-escalate the situation and foster a productive conversation. By staying grounded, you create an atmosphere where others feel safe to express themselves without fear of emotional outbursts. This steady and composed demeanor is something people often grow to value. When you're not present, they may miss the emotional clarity and balance you bring to discussions, realizing how you help maintain harmony in tense moments. Furthermore, emotional control extends to everyday interactions and challenges, such as dealing with stress at work or handling disagreements with friends. For instance, if a coworker is difficult or a project is failing, reacting with frustration could worsen the problem. A Stoic approach would involve assessing the situation calmly, identifying solutions, and managing stress internally without letting it affect external behavior. This consistent practice of self-discipline builds trust and respect from others, as they know they can rely on your rationality in challenging circumstances. Over time, the emotional stability you offer becomes something people value and miss when absent, as they realize your calmness is not just a personal strength, but a beneficial presence for everyone around you. Number 4. Practice detachment. Practicing detachment is a core aspect of Stoic philosophy, rooted in the concept of apatheia, which involves the freedom from destructive emotions. Stoicism teaches us that becoming overly attached to people, circumstances, or material possessions makes us vulnerable to emotional turbulence. By practicing detachment, we learn to maintain emotional balance, even when we experience loss, disappointment, or change. This doesn't mean that Stoics reject love or close relationships. Rather, they emphasize the importance of not allowing those relationships to control or define our happiness. For example, if you base your entire emotional well-being on the presence of a partner or friend, their absence, whether temporary or permanent, could lead to suffering. Detachment helps you maintain inner peace regardless of external situations. In relationships, detachment can lead to a healthier dynamic. When you're not constantly seeking validation or attention, others are drawn to your sense of independence and emotional strength. They begin to value your presence because it's not something you impose on them. It's something that feels earned. For example, a person who is overly needy or clingy may push others away because they feel suffocated by the constant demand for attention. On the other hand, someone who is emotionally self-sufficient and not constantly seeking approval becomes more desirable to be around. Their detachment fosters a sense of mystery and respect, and when they're not readily available, people often realize how much they miss the calm and balanced energy they bring into a relationship. By practicing detachment, you avoid placing your emotional needs entirely in someone else's hands. You're not cold or indifferent, but you recognize that external factors, including other people, are outside your control. When others see that you don't cling to them or demand their constant presence for your happiness, they begin to value your independence. In turn, this can create a positive feedback loop. People are more likely to miss your company because they don't feel obligated to be there. They appreciate your presence even more because you offer them space and emotional freedom. And in doing so, you cultivate stronger, healthier connections based on mutual respect and genuine affection. Number 5, provide value without expectation. Providing value without expectation is a core principle in Stoicism that emphasizes selflessness in relationships and society. Stoics believe that when you contribute to others' well-being, whether through wisdom, support, or material help, without seeking anything in return, you embody the virtue of justice. This aligns with the Stoic idea that we should focus on what is within our control, and the reactions or reciprocation of others are not in our control. For example, if you offer a friend advice during a difficult time, you do so because it is the right and kind thing to do, not because you expect them to return the favor in the future. This act of giving without strings attached fosters deeper, more authentic relationships. When you provide value selflessly, others come to recognize the genuine support you offer. Over time, this kind of unconditional giving creates trust and respect. People will begin to associate you with dependability, and they may find themselves relying on your wisdom, kindness, or skill set. For instance, imagine you consistently help your coworkers improve their work performance by offering feedback or sharing knowledge, but you never expect them to praise you or return the favor. The result is that your coworkers will appreciate your presence because you improve the work environment without demanding recognition. When you're not around, they will miss the value you provided, realizing how much they benefited from your selflessness. In Stoic philosophy, the key is to give because it aligns with your own principles and virtues, not because you expect a reward. By focusing on the act of contributing rather than the response, you create a space where others naturally come to appreciate your presence. The impact of your actions will often speak for itself. And when you're absent, people will feel the void of the value you brought to their lives. This echoes Marcus Aurelius' teaching that the reward of a good deed is having done it. And through this mindset, you build relationships based on genuine contribution rather than transactional expectations. Number 6, be present but unattached. Being present but unattached is a core principle of Stoic philosophy that encourages fully engaging with people and situations while maintaining emotional independence. When interacting with others, it is important to give them your full attention, listening carefully and responding with empathy. This means being mindful of their feelings and needs, but without becoming overly involved or emotionally reliant on the outcome of the interaction. For example, in a conversation with a friend, you should be fully present, offering your support and advice, but avoid becoming too attached to their decisions or reactions. By doing so, you maintain a healthy emotional distance, which allows you to preserve your own inner peace while still being there for others. Practicing a more fatty, the Stoic concept of loving your fate plays a key role in this approach. Amor fati teaches us to accept life's flow, embracing both the highs and lows without resistance. In relationships, this means understanding that people come and go, and circumstances change. Rather than clinging to permanence, Stoics encourage us to appreciate the moments we have with others while accepting the impermanence of life. For example, in a romantic relationship, you can be deeply engaged and committed, yet prepared to accept that things may not always go as planned. If the relationship ends, your emotional detachment allows you to accept it with grace rather than falling into despair. This mindset not only brings inner peace, but also helps others see you as strong and composed, someone who isn't overly dependent on the relationship. This balance of presence and non-attachment makes your company refreshing and valuable to others. People often find it draining when someone is overly needy or dependent on them for validation. By being fully engaged when you're with them, but not clinging or seeking constant reassurance, you bring a sense of calm and reliability. Your peaceful and thoughtful nature will leave a lasting impression, and when you are absent, people will naturally miss the balanced energy you bring. In this way, practicing presence without attachment not only benefits your emotional well-being, but also strengthens your relationships by making your presence more cherished. Number 7, focus on personal growth. Focusing on personal growth is central to Stoicism, as it emphasizes controlling what is within your power, particularly your actions, thoughts, and responses. Personal development, therefore, is a Stoic's lifelong mission. Whether it's through gaining knowledge, practicing virtues, or developing emotional resilience, Stoicism encourages continuous self-improvement. By focusing on growth, you cultivate inner strength and wisdom, becoming a more capable and admirable person. For example, in times of adversity, a Stoic would focus on their reaction to the situation rather than the situation itself, working to remain calm and composed. Traits that inspire respect and admiration from others. When you consistently work on improving yourself, others begin to notice the positive changes in your demeanor, decision-making, and overall presence. People admire individuals who are always striving for excellence and personal evolution, as it signals discipline and strength. This admiration often leads to people valuing your presence more. For instance, if you are someone who constantly learns new skills, reflects on your actions, and works to become more virtuous, others will see you as a role model for growth and perseverance. When you're not around, they will miss the guidance and inspiration you naturally provide. Furthermore, your commitment to personal growth not only benefits you, but also has a ripple effect on the people around you. By continually improving yourself, you set an example that encourages others to follow a similar path. When others see the progress you've made, whether in how you handle stress, how you treat people with kindness and fairness, or how you navigate difficult decisions, they may be inspired to grow themselves. Your absence, then, is felt because they miss the motivation and positive influence your presence brings. The constant evolution of your character makes you a beacon of strength and growth, qualities that people deeply value and miss when they are no longer part of their everyday experience. Number 8. Lead by example. Leading by example is a fundamental principle in Stoicism, rooted in the belief that actions speak louder than words. The Stoics emphasize that the best way to influence others is not by telling them what to do, but by living out the virtues you wish to promote. By embodying Stoic principles such as wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance in your daily life, you become a role model that others naturally want to emulate. For example, instead of lecturing others about the importance of patience, a Stoic would demonstrate patience in stressful situations. This quiet, consistent application of virtue makes a more profound impact than any verbal instruction could. In practice, leading by example means handling life's challenges with grace and resilience. Consider the example of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. Despite his immense responsibilities and the turmoil of his reign, he is remembered for his calm demeanor, fairness in leadership, and adherence to Stoic values. His life was an embodiment of Stoic wisdom, and many of his decisions as a ruler were driven by a sense of justice and the greater good, rather than personal gain. His actions, not his words, have left a lasting legacy that continues to inspire people centuries later. When you live according to the Stoic virtues, those around you will naturally feel your absence when you're not there. People gravitate toward those who live with integrity and consistency because they provide a sense of stability and moral clarity. For instance, if you are known for always remaining composed during conflicts and acting with fairness, your absence will be felt when chaos arises and others struggle to maintain control. In relationships, workplaces, and communities, the influence of someone who leads by example becomes evident, as their behavior sets the tone for others. By being that steady, virtuous presence, you not only inspire others to follow your example, but also create a lasting impact that resonates long after you're gone. And there you have it. Living by Stoic principles isn't just about inner peace and self-control. It's also about making a lasting impact on those around you. When you embody virtues like integrity, emotional control, and self-sufficiency, people will naturally value your presence and miss you when you're not around. Remember, it's not about seeking validation, but about living with purpose and authenticity. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Ironclad Wisdom for more content on Stoicism and timeless life lessons. Let's continue to learn and grow together on this journey to becoming stronger, more resilient individuals. Until next time, stay grounded, stay virtuous, and stay ironclad.